Hello, welcome to Unit 2, Lesson 7, Comparing Relationships with Tables, Cool Down Answer Key. In this cool down, you have 3 questions, so let's take a closer look at the first question. So question 1 says, based on the information in the table, is the cost of apples proportional to the weight of apples? So what we need to do is take a closer look at the ratio of cost of apples to pounds of apples. So we do y over x to see if there's a constant of proportionality. Because if you recall, if there is a constant rate between all rows, we can say there is a constant proportionality and that there is possibly a proportional relationship. So let's compare. So start with 376. Over 2. So when I divide that, I get 1.88. I'm going to repeat that, so 5.64 over 3. When I divide that, I get 1.88 again. 7.52 over 4. When I divide that, I also get 1.88. And finally, 9.4 over 5. When I divide that, I get 1.88. So as I can see, there is a common cost per pound between the different rows on the table. So we're saying for these 4 rows that the cost per pound was $1.88. So if we want to answer the question, is this a proportional relationship, we would say possibly yes. Okay, and the reason why it's only possibly yes is because we can only see part of the relationship. We don't see all of the pounds of apples that you could possibly buy, and we don't see all of the costs for those pounds of apples. So because we're not given all of the information, we can only say that it is possibly yes based on the information that we were given. If we were given all of the pounds of apples and their costs, and we saw that they all came out to be $1.88 per pound, then we could definitely say yes. Okay, let's take a look at question 2. So this one says, based on the information in the table, is the cost of pizza proportional to the number of toppings? So I'm going to take a closer look. I'm going to do the ratio of cost to number of toppings by dividing. So I start with $11.99 over 2. So when I divide $11.99 by 2, I get about $6. It's actually 5.995, but we're talking about pizza here, so that would probably round up to 6, since we're talking about pizza and money. For the next one, I would do $13.49 divided by 3, and when I divide that, I get another decimal. This time it ends up being repeating, so it's going to be approximately $4.50. For the next row, I'm going to do $14.99 over 4. Another long decimal, so that is going to be approximately $33.75. And then finally, I'm going to do 16.49 over 5. And I get, again, approximately $3.30. So as you can see, none of the ratios are the same, so there is no constant of proportionality. So we can say that this relationship is definitely not proportional. Okay, we can say that with certainty. The cost per topping is not the same in each row. It changes as you purchase more toppings. More than likely, this is because typically when you buy pizza, you purchase the pizza at a greater price and then you are charged extra for toppings. If we were to write an equation that represented this situation, it would come out to be C equal 1.5 T plus 8.99. Now, you are not expected to know that. That's okay. I just wanted to point out that this is what the equation would be. So the cost is equal to $1.50 per topping plus $8.99. That $8.99 is probably the price just for the pizza by itself. So the last question says to write an equation for the proportional relationship. So I'm going to go back up and take a look at the first table. And I'm going to give it the variables P for pounds of apples and C for cost. Okay, if I wanted to add in another row to help me write that equation, I could add in a fifth row and call it P. And if I were to multiply that by the constant of proportionality, I would get $1.88p. What this does is it helps me write the overall equation, because if you recall, everything in the C column is going to be equivalent to C. So the cost is equivalent to $3.76, $5.64, so on and so on. It is even equivalent to this entry right here. So that is what I'm going to use to write my equation, which is going to be C equals 1.88p. Thanks for watching.